Hello, good evening, guys. Welcome to the Real Talk channel. So there has been, some, I'm sure you guys are, most of us are football fans and have been following the games, since the tournament started. So there is, that I just want to touch on the career of, two very iconic players, you know, uh, two players in the person of Ronaldo and Messi. These players, they have been what they have given to football and their achievements over the course of nearly 2 decades now, in the game. Aside the football banter and everything, you can't take away their stellar achievements in the sports, and what they have given back to society. That is not in question, both talent wise and impact wise. That is not in question. Sorry, but what we want to touch on here a little bit is there's been a banter that goes on between them. Over the course of their career, they've managed to build fan a very very enormous fan base for themselves, both at the starting from the personal level. They have millions of followers across their social media handles, and on the national team level and also on the club level. I mean, these guys are these guys is the face of the sports, you know, and to have done it consistently over the years is something else, you know. But there comes a time in the career of anybody, to just take a bow and leave the stage for the younger generation. And I think they are getting to that point. They are getting to that point, and honestly, I think Ronaldo has gotten to that point where he should honorably leave the stage, you know, and leave the business for the younger generations, because at some point, uh, it begins to seem like your presence begins to seem like no one can do it better, which is a big lie anyway. So yes, that aside, full recognition of their achievements and their impact, in the sports, that's unquestionable, you know. But you know, uh, given the banter between them, of course, if you know me, personally, and uh, of course, go through my, social media, you know, uh, status or anything, what have you. I'm not too much of a social media person. My presence in social media is very limited. But what I'm trying to say is that if you know me personally, I'm a Messi fan. I'll always prefer, I'll always root for Messi, you know, rather than Ronaldo. But that is not to say that Ronaldo is not a legend. And of course, um, banter is banter. I ruthlessly throw Ronaldo whenever and for good reasons too. I think that is what is even bringing me to this video. Yeah, I throw him mercilessly. Uh, it's for the fun, of course. Ronaldo doesn't know me, but I throw him mercilessly because I feel that uh, aside his talent and what he brings to the game, I feel that there are some character traits that make him a difficult person to like, or not such a good leader, both in the field and outside for his conduct. Okay, a classical example. At least we are here to talk fans, because I'm not going to let my bias, or you know my bias for, or likeness for Messi, preference for Messi, um, be cloud, talk subjectively. I want to be very objective in my assessments, and in what I'm telling you right here. And I want to be factual, facts that you can actually verify independently. Now, what do I mean by that? if you want to, if you're a football fan, you've been following this two individuals over the years, you'll notice that there are some character traits that differentiate them. You know, there are some character traits that make one more likable than the other, make one more of a leader than the other. You know, for example, now I'm going to be giving you examples because I don't want this to be like a very prejudiced whatever. So you can listen to the interview. Sorry, I have flu that is not, so my voice is a bit. You can listen to the interview Ronaldo granted after their loss to Spain. I think that was just yesterday. You can go and listen to that interview. And in comparison to, I don't want to use Messi's interview after winning Egypt today because that would be unfair. Because of course there is a positive and negative emotion. Messi is happy having won Egypt and qualified for the quarterfinals, but Ronaldo is not exactly that, having lost to Spain and crashed out of the World Cup. So I'll tell you to watch Ronaldo's interview yesterday after loss to Spain, and watch Messi's interview in 2014 after their loss to Germany. That is the World Cup finals. The finals between Argentina and Germany in 2014, which Argentina lost. Go and watch Messi's interview. Compare the two. You see the difference, the glaring difference in their character. You see the glaring difference in their mentality. You see the glaring difference in their approach to leadership, you know. You see that one is compulsively obsessive about personal glory, which is Ronaldo. He's compulsively obsessive about personal glory. Any glory that is not his, that is not attachable to him, to his person, is not good enough. This he belittled the Italian league before he joined it. He belittled the MLS. He belittled the French league because his rival was there. You see that his conduct over. Watch his interviews, even after he won the Ballon d'Or. And when you are watching, don't just concentrate on Ronaldo. When you watch Messi, look at the both speeches. You know, Messi rarely talks. In Messi's interview, there is no single interview, and I challenge you, there's no single interview Messi has granted where he directly made allusions or directly or indirectly took a swipe at his rival Ronaldo. None. Not even one. Across all social, over the course of his career, there is no single interview Lionel Messi has granted where he took direct or indirect swipe at his rival or his rival team, Ronaldo or Real Madrid. None. Now go and watch Ronaldo's interviews. Google Ronaldo's interview, taking swipes at his rival Messi. They are, in fact, it got so childish that even you see fans on the internet, you know, maybe taking swipe at whoever they want to. Ronaldo will go to the comment sections and be, you know, belittling himself. So I think that it is quite unbecoming of a guy in his stead, you know, a guy of his status. He's self-centered. He's self-centered, and he lacks humility. He's self-centered. He lacks humility. These are the two very, you know, very important factors that question his capacity as a leadership, while Messi is otherwise. You know, when Messi is talking about, when Messi, whether after a loss or after a win, after a match, you know, post-match interviews, he's praising the people around him. He's making it about the team, you know. He's making it about the team, not about himself. He realizes that football is a team sport. It's a game of 11 men on each side. And when you are listening to him, you see that he mentally appreciates that fact. But when it comes to his colleague Ronaldo, when you listen to Ronaldo talk, you think that football is Spain versus Ronaldo, you know, Croatia versus Ronaldo. You think that he's the only one, he's the only one playing 11 players. In the interview I just referred you to against Spain, he was making reference to having won the Euro 2016 and how he single-handedly was he was alluding to the fact he was single-handedly was responsible for the team's glory in those tournaments. In essence, saying that without him, Portugal would have gone nowhere, which is a big lie. Portugal has always been a great team in the times of Helder Postiga, Luis Figo. There are plenty. Rui Costa. Portugal has always been a good, an elite team. You know, yes, they have not won a lot of things in the past, but for Ronaldo to step out and say that the recent glory that they've enjoyed in recent years was solely because of him is grand delusion. I'm not the one saying it. Go and watch the statistics in the games. The statistics will speak for themselves. Go and watch who scored in the games. Go and watch who were the men of the matches in the games. The finals, the Euro 2016 final, he's talking about he won. He won it on the bench. He was injured. And the person that substituted him, came in place of him, scored the winning goal. Ronaldo was on the bench when Portugal, his team, won that Euro 2016. So what is he talking about? But he was talking about it yesterday like he was singularly responsible for that victory, which is wrong, which is quite disrespectful of his teammates. In fact, a lot of the things he says during interviews are very disrespectful of his colleagues, disrespectful of the sports itself, disrespectful of the institutions of football, the institutions that made him. He has no regard. Whatever does not serve his personal vain aggrandizement, you know, or vain glory, you know, is not good enough. That is the opposite of Lionel Messi. You never see Lionel Messi sounding very good. Lionel Messi is, with all sense of modesty, the best thing that happened to football in centuries. The best thing that happened to football. But you never see him. He's very unassuming, very humble. It'll be like, in fact, when people are praising him, it'll be like he gets uncomfortable. And that is not him acting or being performative about humility. You see, he's truly, okay, listen to what his teammates, in the teams he has played in. Barcelona, Argentina, PSG, MLM, what's the name of this American team? Listen to Messi's teammates across board. Listen to the kind of words they have to say about him. Do the same thing for Ronaldo, you know. So this is why, aside the talents and everything, and aside the fact that I honestly, you know, and football knowledge-wise, believe that Messi is nothing to be compared to Ronaldo. There is no comparison between the two players because Messi is far ahead of him. I honestly and dispassionately believe that. And I have a lot of reasons to believe that, but I don't want to. It's a very sensitive debate that gets people triggered, but that does not stop me from saying it. The two players are not Messi. Ronaldo is not on Messi's level. As footballers, he's not on Messi's level. There are a lot of things Messi does that Ronaldo cannot dream of. But of course, we are enjoying the game. So aside that fact, I think that these character traits, these leadership qualities are what endear people more to Messi than to Ronaldo. Ronaldo, the fans he has, understandably because of his achievements, of course his talent and everything, that is quite understandable, But outside that, setting good example for other people, for the younger generation in the game and everything. In that sense, he doesn't contribute much because he advances the idea of football being about personal glory, not about a collective glory, not being a team sport. You see him all the time, how he plays, quite very keen, to be the one, to be the center of attention, to have the spotlight on you all the time, to even steal the spotlight from the younger ones, the younger generations. I mean, it's quite it's quite a terrible thing to see. On the other hand, Messi is taking things easy, taking everyone along, and so these are the things I think that that is quite that quite separates them. It has to do a lot about the character of the two individuals, and that's what endears me to Messi personally. I know Ronaldo is talented and everything, but I don't respect him a lot because he doesn't respect his colleagues. He doesn't respect the sports. Anything that does not serve him, he does not regard or respect. You came to you as a 41-year-old. You trained hard. Played in all sorts of leagues, all sorts of matches. You did everything humanly possible to stay fit for a tournament, and you played it. Just because you crashed out, all of a sudden, is no longer all that important, an important tournament. Why are you playing it at 41? The hypocrisy. If you know what it can take a human being, if you know how far a 41-year-old stretches his body to be fit enough to play football for 90 minutes, to be as fit as Ronaldo is to do what he's doing, you know that guy is a hypocrite for saying anything that is belittling of the World Cup tournament. He's a hypocrite. He has been working hard. He said it that it's his dream to win the World Cup. It will complete him. Just because he didn't win it yesterday, he didn't advance to the quarterfinals yesterday. He disrespected the tournament, disrespected the teams playing in it, and disrespected his teammates in saying that he has won. He has won. They has won the Euro, so the World Cup is not all that important. When he's talking about these things, you feel that it is him alone playing other teams. It's Ronaldo versus Croatia, Ronaldo versus Spain. It's not a game of 11-11. It's a game of one Ronaldo one, then 11 players. That's how he speaks, which reflects poorly on his leadership skills and capacity. Listen to Messi's interview today after winning, beating Egypt, and even other teams after losing matches. Listen, you see the difference. You are belittling the World Cup. Why are you playing in it? Why have you not left the stage for the younger Portuguese players to take over? You still want to play in it at 41, but you are still belittling it. What the hell, man? What the hell is wrong with you? So this is why I don't respect the guy. I don't like people that don't respect, that ask for what they don't give. It's not the way things work. It's not the way things work. No matter how influential or talented you are, you must learn as a leader to give what you ask for. To give before you can take. It's quite unfortunate. It's quite unfortunate, but it's what it is. It's what it is. So that I was so happy yesterday when Portugal won. I mean, Spain beat Portugal because the guy will tell you that he's single-handedly responsible for Portugal advancing. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you a fact. Anybody that has any football knowledge, out of football knowledge, knows this. Portugal, with the talent they have in every position of play in football, Portugal with the talent they have greater chance of winning the World Cup without Ronaldo than with him in the Portuguese team. Remove Ronaldo from that team, you see how well that team will do. Okay, watch and see. Let him retire first. I don't know. He might even come back 4 years later to play at 46 or 45. I won't put that past him. He's that selfish. He thinks he's the best thing that happened to Portuguese football, which is absolutely false. Wait till Ronaldo steps out of that team. You see how well Portugal will be doing in international tournaments. Ronaldo is the reason Portugal has been poor in international tournaments for the past few years. They crashed out in the last World Cup. They have crashed out in this one because of one man. There are better talents in all the positions. PSG, Goncalo Ramos is Portuguese. He scored in the World Cup from the bench. This guy did not play a single minute in the game as crucial as that of Spain yesterday. He was on the bench throughout because a 41-year-old is in the pitch, roaming about, waiting to poach goals. I mean, it's terrible. It's terrible. People should just say the truth, I beg. It's terrible. He didn't pick himself, but of course, we know how these things work. So that is it. That's what I have to say on this. I think the difference between the two individuals are glaring. And when you see the love for Messi, it's for obvious reasons. It's not just because of his talent. It's because of what he brought in and what he brings in other aspects of the sport as a person. His character, his leadership, his sense of awareness and everything. Ronaldo is tone deaf to any other thing that is not about his personal glory and singing his praises as the best thing that happened to the sports of football. That's the only one thing. Anyone that is not saying anything like that, is not acceptable. And that is very terrible mentality to have for somebody who is at that level, because you are teaching the younger generation the wrong things. So that is it. Please, this has taken too long. I didn't want to take this much time, especially on something we can find out for ourselves. Source information we can source ourselves to verify what we are saying here. So it's okay. Good night. Enjoy the World Cup. And enjoy watching the greatest to do it. That's Lionel Messi.